Good day, everyone. We are alive. We are here. And it's been a while since I've been on live. I'm in the kitchen here on video for a little bit while the phone catches a charge, and then we'll move to the outdoors. And it's felt like time now that I'm posting a little bit more content, getting a little bit more feedback, to address some of the things that I theorize about in the world, in this reality, so that maybe you can better understand me instead of, I feel like a lot of response is very black and white, not leaving any nuance. If you say something about this or that, you're automatically this or that, which I don't believe is the way we should communicate if we are intending on driving the collective towards unity. And I also think a lot of people say that that is their intention, and it might not actually be, and that would be potentially someone who is hurt still, and a lot of us are hurt, and this is a healing experience. And yeah, depending on the perspective you take on this life, you may unconsciously be driving it away from unity, and or you may be unconsciously driving it towards unity, or you may be in full consciousness and you know what you're choosing, and you can still get that wrong sometimes. And so I'm not perfect. I'm just sharing my thoughts, my intuitions, the sensations that I get in meditation and in breath work and from living a holistic lifestyle and detaching as best as I can from all of the illusion, all of the external, consuming what is, not always, but consuming. We're always taking in what is in our environment. It's not just food, water, air. It's what we're listening to. It's what we're watching. And so being observant of this is important, because it all affects our vibration, which will in turn affect how we think and how we behave and what direction we're driving ourselves to, which is also driving the collective to. And so I think that's an important point to hone in on. And one simple way to go about that is to detach for a while from all external influence and see what it feels like to just be in your body and to just feel the sensation before it turns into anything else in your body. If you can create space, if you can be comfortable, if you can regulate the nervous system enough to be comfortable with your own quietness, with your own stillness, then there's a code, there is a message that comes from somewhere else. So people, when I post something, people think that I'm grabbing, oh, you're just watching this news, or you're watching this alternative news. But no. I'm using what I've been building to discern what I see externally. And regardless, the external is a reflection of the collective internal. And so the answer always is, like, even if these files come out and we need to get these pedophiles and let's start litigation, let's start investigating the president, the answer always actually is go back to the inside. Because in the age of misinformation, with all of this information, with all of this AI, with all of the manipulation of information and perception control, how do you know that you're getting accurate information? There's one way. It's to touch back in with reality. It's to touch back in with God, which will not come from outside of you. It will only come from within you. So, I just wanted to start with that. And I think we're charged up enough. I'm going to grab a water and we'll go out into the sunlight, because connecting with these elements are ways of communicating and receiving transmission from something much greater than Maya, much greater than the illusion that just serves to control the controllable. And so we just see a bunch of different factions of people being controlled by ideas. Those ideas are not original to them. They have been captured by them and have convinced their self that, oh, this idea is virtuous, this is for the goodwill of the people, and it might be, but that's the guise they use to capture you, because you don't actually know what they're doing, but they will use something that you vibe with to capture you. And we'll get more into this in a second, but let's move on and I'll take a few breaths. Why don't you take a few breaths as well? Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose if you'd like. Just slow the breath down, let the mind slow down for a moment. Let's go see what it's like out here in the sun. Yeah, and this is actually so important. That's why I post about it. And I just posted a sunshine video, maybe it was today, and you'll probably get people that argue. I mean, there's like maybe Brian Johnson sorts, and there's the skin damage, skin cancer sorts. Through my experience here and following the discernment that I've cultivated by being with myself and not being influenced by a bunch of people that don't know anything, because nobody knows anything. So the worst person to learn from is someone that thinks that they know something. That's the curse of arrogance and ignorance. So I'll tell you, I know nothing, and I've only directly experienced and sensed and intuited. And when you cultivate this inner guide, this inner discernment, you will also increase in sensitivity and or the ability to sense people that have also done similar work, which isn't work at all. It's unbecoming everything that the world wants you to be. It's it's integrating into reality. And so then your body carries the pattern, the frequency of actual reality instead of it being a distorted mess. So I think, get in the sunshine. I've even seen perspectives lately that even burning is your body detoxifying. And so you could just stay out there in the sun. Now, I'm not recommending that. I'm saying that I've seen perspectives. Take some breaths in through the nose. I don't know how this lighting is. The sun's like straight up in the sky. Let's go over to this corner. Yeah, so I guess I've been lately so why would I look at like social media and what's going on in the collective social media space, the mainstream space, the political space? I look at all of that to see how, the masses are being controlled, how the perception is being controlled, because that's important to me. Because how do I protect the ones that I love? I have to see things from every angle, and if you've got an elitist cabal influencing tens of millions of people to believe one thing, and that's going to put the life of people around me in my community and my family in danger, I ought to know about how they're twisting the mind, how they're brainwashing. And so I do pay a little bit of attention, and I do comment on it for that reason, though I believe politics is a circus. It is a part of the bread and circus. I do think there is still right-leaning and left-leaning, and if you look at it logically, there are things to get behind, but the system, it doesn't actually represent us. It is a sham, it's an illusion, and it's controlled by something much higher and something much deeper. So it's just another game to get lost in, to choose your team and root and then lose, and then to be mad at the other team. And you've seen here now that we've taken that to almost as far as it can go. Like it can obviously go further, and it might, because this is the fourth turning, and we see what's happening in Iran right now. Like it can go that far. It can go civil war far. Like if that's the movie we want to agree to playing a character in, personally wouldn't be my first choice. But that's another thing that's nice about being with the self and connecting to the space that is real, the moment, and allowing Source, God, to inform you and to give you proper discernment so that you can take right action. Because when there's things going on, even if they're distorted externally, even if everybody's giving you a different message, you'll know intuitively what direction to head in. So that's always my answer. Even when the Epstein file release comes out, I'm not making light of this situation, but you're being controlled by this situation. Things don't just get shown and blown up out of nowhere, and then all of the reports are, your president's mentioned 582 times. Are we that emotionally reactive that we can't see how that is manipulating our energetic state and creating a narrative? You can't, I don't know, people can't look outside of that a little bit. They're so right and left, red and blue, that now that's the number one thing. But and I mean, information's weird, but at the same time, we have 200 to 300 confirmed reports using a special radar technology that there were spiral columns under each pyramid in Egypt, leading down to chambers that were 80 meters by 80 meters by 80 meters, all connected by passageways with a vent and or a shaft going all the way up to the top. So the pyramids are just the tip of the iceberg, and what this lends to, the idea that this lends to is, we're concerned, okay, pedophilia is bad, but the cover-up gets worse. It's deeper than that. You cannot fight the system by participating in the system. That's the only thing that I'm saying. But as soon as I say focus on yourself, when things like this come out, it's oh, you're not doing anything, you must be a pedophile, you're backing Donald Trump, and blah, blah, blah. And that's just ridiculous, low IQ, low concentration, ability, nervous system regulation. That's just not good. That's just not good because, like, we're on, and a lot of us have already discovered this. We know that this system that sustains itself, and that what was built on top of it is illusion to create slaves out of all of us, to create a scarcity-centric civilization where the power is at the top of the pyramid. That's why we can only see the pyramids. We don't see everything that was going down underneath, and their ley lines and energetic portals or meeting points all across the planet in which ancient civilizations, and we don't even know the actual history. Like, people think they know history, and then I can tell you that they actually don't know anything if they're going to pretend like they know what happened more than 80 years ago or more than 100 years ago. But we've got the books, we've got the data, we've got the research, we've got this guy's account and this guy's account. Well, the victors write the history, but we've had advanced civilizations build energetic tech on top of these center points, connecting these ley lines, producing free energy for the entire world. There was a civilization here prior to us living in abundance. They didn't even need toilets, is a theory, because none of the Tartaria buildings had toilets or plumbing. And so it's just funny because stuff like that is coming out, and like right at the same time you have midterms and the political circus coming out. You have all of the fraud, which the fraud brings you to something even deeper. Like it brings you to, why are we paying them currency? Why are we paying them currency? Why are we paying taxes? They don't want to go into the fraud stuff, because then we find out that all of our money is being wasted to actually control us even further. And so it's weird, the right-left thing. Are there any good actors that make it to the stage? That's something that I'm not sure about, because you could easily see how the right to win this election, they played into the story of freedom, story of health, the story of bringing stability and security back to our country, law and order, just bring the economy back. We're being taken advantage of. And, if you're just looking at those ideas and this is a true political system that is representing us, then that looks good to a lot of us. But then you have the entire different message being sent to everybody who's on the other team. And, yeah, they think, Nazis. Hitler is in charge right now, right? And that ICE is the Gestapo. And it's an interesting polarity that was created. And are there some good people in politics that are being shown to us on the screen? It's very, very difficult to tell, because there's a screen, there's a filter, right? Television tell lies to your vision. They're channeling a message through the channel. They're programming you through the programs. So it's difficult to tell, because you'd like to think that there were people at that level working for the greater good. But then you have the whole argument of, like, what is actually greater? Like, we should have no borders, which I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm more right-leaning in ideology, but I have no faith in politics, in the circus that they're showing us. No faith at all. But that doesn't mean I hate every single. I'm not like, I don't know. These people are dramatic out here. Very, very dramatic. Because you're still giving them your energy. You're still cycling your energy through that by hating it, by trying to change it within the system that is crooked. That is not how you get out of the system. That's not how you create a new system that is abundance-based, that is freedom-centric. That is not how we realize sovereignty. So it's as simple as that. So when I post things, try to understand that I'm coming from a perspective that is nuanced, that has looked at all of these angles, that does not buy into let's jump onto the streets on this side, let's jump onto the streets on this side. There have been step after step that people have been blinded to because they're so attached to one side or the other. So now all of a sudden all this stuff's happening. Where I see it, this stuff's been happening for 10 years. It's been happening for 20 years. As long as I've been aware of myself, or at least fragments of myself, it's been happening. But as soon as it flip-flops to the other side, none of those half of the people are like, well, nothing was happening in the 8 years where we ran the country, yet it was. And it's just the totalitarian tiptoe, and each admin's taking a step closer. And I wish that wasn't the case, and I'm open to it not being the case. I'm open to there actually being some good stuff happening now. But there are people battling. There are elites battling, and they're using you to do the dirty work on the streets, to get killed. And yeah, even some of those people could be part of the situation. So anyways, maybe we'll keep the post more holistic, because less people will argue with me about the benefits of sunlight than to basically I was just saying, like, hey, they're controlling you with these releases. I'm not saying all of what they're releasing is true or untrue. I'm saying, how could you know? Out of all people, how would you know? You know? Oh, but the DOJ released this. Oh, the government released this. The federal courts released these documents. Oh, the government released this. You know? This journalist obtained this information through Freedom of Information Act. Oh, so the government gave it to them? So it's just like, how would you know truly? Please tell me. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And yeah, it's just a little bit too fishy with the timing of the release. Too fishy with whom is named. It's just really interesting, because the people that are allegedly named there, that people weren't expecting, like Elon Musk, well, and then Donald Trump 588 times. Like, these guys aren't even sweating. So they're either a part of it and know nothing is going to happen, they're above it and know nothing's going to happen, or they know that they weren't involved in it. So it's really, really interesting, I would say. But when someone wants you from outside of you to zoom in on something, that's the time to look at everything that they don't want you to look at. That's the time to meditate. That's the time to do breath work and to tap in to your inner guide and just cultivate that discernment that is God given, because it helps you decipher through all of this BS. And so that's always the message. No matter what I bring up, it's coming back to self. And then people think like, oh, that's selfish. Like, how are you going to figure anything out? How are you going to figure out anything? If you're participating in the broken system, you are perpetuating the broken system. So how are you figuring anything out? Like, that would be the question I give to you. If you think this system is somehow repairable, this system that's based on scarcity, that has created so many victims in this world, it's created so much division in this country alone, so much violence, profits on war. And like, if that's the system you want to perpetuate, then keep playing in the politics. Keep doing it. I'm saying tap into yourself, tap into what you believe as that highest good, which I can tell you how to get there. I can't tell you what that is for you. I can tell you how to get there, but I won't tell you what that is for you. But it guides. We are sovereign, self-sustaining beings, if only we can unbecome everything that we've been told that we are. If only we can access presence again, purity again, clarity again. And we do that by sitting with ourselves, with no thoughts. The thoughts are what create the loops. That creates no progress, no appreciation. We want to appreciate. We want to evolve. Transformation, change, that's still a cycle. We need to appreciate. We need to come outside of the thinking mind and receive information in the unknown, from the Akashic, from the mystery, from where we can no longer create this conceptual overlay of what the world is. And that's where you find out what the world is. And you, in your head, you don't find it out. The body integrates to it. It attunes to it. So that's always the message. And then that leads you to doing the thing that you need to do, because if you're getting all the wrong information, how are you going to act in the way that this reality needs you to act? You know, if you get the right information, you'll know how to act. So it starts with you. It starts with you. Otherwise, you're being controlled by them. And yeah, we're here at an interesting time in life. I'll say that much. And it's 2:00, so I gotta get going. I'm gonna go play some baseball with my nephew, and I don't want this live to be interrupted, but let's we got started on it. I wish maybe I could put this on YouTube somehow. I know it'll just look bad, but I could probably put it on YouTube. Let's just take a few breaths. So in 3, 2, 1, breathe it in through the nose, fill the belly up, let it go out through the mouth. In through the nose, 3, 2, 1, breathe it in. And let it go. 3, 2, 1, breathe it in through the nose, fill the belly up. And let it go. Sit with yourself, be with yourself, ground, get in the sun, move, do all of the things that connect you to the natural earth. You will start to resonate with it. You will receive the right information. Information is energy in form. And yeah, stop being so emotionally reactive to the TV. It's telling lies to you. It's literally in the name. Stop being so emotionally reactive to the internet. It is an internet, a network, a web site, a book of faces, surveillance. Okay, breathe easy, y'all. Thank you for joining. I'm glad we were live on here again. Take care, breathe easy. It's beautiful out here in Arizona, so I hope you're out here. You can pick mini watermelons from your trees, and you can have a great day.